It's very big and very powerful, and it has blacked-out windows with my name across the front of it.
Danny Brooke from Fireline. Sorry, is it working?
It's working.
Are you going back to Venice?
Going back to Venice? I'm not sure they'd take us back.
What actually happened last time?
In Venice?
I was there afterwards.
Well, as far as we were concerned, we had a jolly good show and a very good time, and the city didn't live up to some of their promises to us and then tried to put the blame on us, but that's rock and roll, as they say.
So they didn't make proper arrangements for the crowd, basically?
They didn't make proper arrangements, and they had promised to make arrangements for the audience and for toilets and for food and all the sort of usual things that people do, and I think they all went away for the weekend.
Or to your concert?
Ecki Stieg from Radio FFN in Hanover. Can you tell me something more about the new album, about the title or about the concept it will have?
No, not really. Sorry, it's not finished yet, so we haven't got a title for it. Certainly not that we're letting on to. And you'll just have to wait.
You did this video with this auto race a couple of months ago, I guess, and there have been some new tunes on it. Is this some of these tunes made end up on the new album, or?
We looked at them. I think in the end, none of them are actually on it. No, I think it's all newer than that.
I'm Ute Ecke-Schneider from WDR in Cologne, and I want to ask you, that's the first time you're playing in the United Germany. What do you think about that?
Well, the last time we played right by the Reichstag in Berlin, which is sort of in the middle of East Germany, but it will be I don't know quite what the feeling is about playing in a united Germany. I guess we'll be very happy to. I wish it had fulfilled its promise for everyone.
This is Felipe from Spain. Have you heard from Sid recently? Do you know about his health or anything?
I haven't really heard very much about him recently, no. Why so? He doesn't write, he doesn't call. No, I haven't. I would quite like to, but his family don't think that reminders of his past are terribly good for him, so we tend to leave him alone.
Question for Nick. Can you tell us a bit of your motor racing activities recently? What sort of cars have you been racing? And what kind of standard have you reached?
Was that the time?
How long have you got? What have I done? Well, I've really, I suppose this year's just been with old cars, mainly with a Maserati. But
Volkswagen Maserati, yes.
But I suppose the feeling at the moment is that with the tour coming up and finishing the record and so on, I feel that I'm a sort of retired racing driver for the next year and a half or so.
Sorry? I haven't. Sort of the occasional Boeing 747, that's about it.
How did you feel about the use of the wall as a concept, but as a soundtrack for the crumbling of the wall in Berlin when it was the big show, the European? It was broadcasted all throughout all Europe. How do you feel about that? Because you didn't take any part of it.
In Roger's show at the wall?
Yeah.
What do you mean about it? Sorry.
How did you feel about the use of the whole concept? Because I mean, it was very much of your brainchild as well.
No, it was mostly Roger's brainchild, and he's entitled to do what he wishes with it, and I have no objections to it. No. The animal's pig. We haven't actually decided, I have to confess, that we don't know whether to take the pig with us or not. We're a little bit bored with him. Spelt either way. Studio's a studio. If you've got a nice room and all the equipment works well, then you can record pretty well anywhere. And the boat just happens to have a very nice atmosphere, floating on water, and it's very bright and sunny, and it's atmospherically very pleasant to work in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have time for just another couple of questions.
Ivan Kichka, Prague again. Can you tell us, please, where will the rehearsing take place?
Well, some rehearsing is going to take place in England, music rehearsals in a rehearsal studio, and then we're going to move over to somewhere in Texas for the sort of final production rehearsals where we put the whole thing together. Sorry?
The biggest aircraft
hangar in Texas?
Oh, I don't know. We used an aircraft hangar last time. I don't know actually what we're using this time.
You mustn't believe everything you read in these handouts, you know.
States first and then Europe, yeah. Sorry? Yeah, April in the States, April through till July, then Europe.
Martin McNamara from WENN. Did you ever think about retiring, giving it up?
Constantly, but what do you do thereafter? I mean,
Race cars?
Pardon?
Race cars? Fly planes?
It's not
a
I
career.
don't know, it's not a career. I don't think I'm really ready for retirement just yet, partly because I don't know what to do when I do so.
So if anyone has some job opportunities for us, perhaps they'll see us a bit later.
You have always wanted to be very spectacular with your great sounds and great lights. And how long can you compete, and what can you do different way this time, sort of that it's still even more spectacular than last time and last concerts?
Well, the technology is always advancing. I mean, what we did 5 years ago was an enormous advancement over 10 years ago, and so on. And hopefully, there's been a similar advancement in the last 5 years.
Can you sort of describe it more concretely?
Sorry?
More concretely, sort of what it's going to be like?
No, not really, because a lot of the things that we've talked about doing are proposals, and we haven't even seen them operate yet. But there's certainly moves afoot with with a lot of armament companies searching around for new ways of earning a living with the end of the Cold War. That I think a lot of sort of high-tech companies are now looking to find other ways of using things like guided missiles and so on. So I'm hoping we might be able to find something for them to do.
So just because of that, not any. What are the artists? What do you want? Like you were talking about those film things. What sort of things will they be?
I think
it's a bit too early to be able to say precisely. Yeah. I mean, the tour's still quite a long way off, and it's still only in gestation, so it's a bit hard to tell you exactly what we're going to do with it. We're writing film treatments for bits of the show, and we're working on all sorts of thousands of different areas of light and film, but they're not in a state yet to be able to even describe them, if they ever are.
Can you ask Rick Wright about the Greek connection in your life in Greece?
There's no more Greek connection in my life. That's it.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be doing a photo call over here, please. Thanks.
You just gather there and then we'll get it organised.
Stay. Okay. Whoa, don't. No. Gently. Come on. I'm just going to pick up the ball.